What's up guys, in today's video I'm going to talk about decluttering techniques. I'm going to show you 3 different techniques that I have personally used and that I find very useful, and I'm sure that at least one of them will be useful to you. I'm going to tell you how you can apply each of these techniques, and I'm also going to talk a bit about some of the pros and cons of each technique so you can pick and choose which one you want to use. If you find this video useful, hit the thumbs up button because it helps this channel a lot, and I post new videos on minimalism every Thursday. If that is something that you're interested in, don't forget to subscribe. But for now, let's start with the first technique. The first decluttering technique that I'm going to talk about today is the KonMari method. The KonMari method is a very simple technique for decluttering that was invented by Marie Kondo. And what's special about this technique is that you don't go through your stuff room by room, but instead that you go through it in categories. So you might start with clothing, and then you're going to get all the clothing you have, the stuff that's in your closet, but also clothing that you might have down in the basement or in the laundry, and you get it all on one big pile. And throwing it all on one big pile is part of the technique. The purpose is to show you how much you actually have. And then you start taking one thing at a time, looking at it, and you ask yourself the question, does this spark joy? And if the answer is yes, if this thing does spark joy, then you keep it. If not, you can get rid of it. Marie Kondo uses the question, does this spark joy? But you can also use different questions like, does this bring me value? Would I buy it again if I wouldn't have this already? Or if I would lose it, would I be sorry that it's gone? Or would I be kind of relieved? Those are all questions that you can use to help you to decide to get rid of something or not. And then you repeat the same process over and over again for all the categories of things you own. So, for example, books, documents, electronics, and all the other stuff that you might have. What's great about the KonMari method is that you really take each single item you own into your hands and look at it, so you will really know what you own afterwards. And what I really like is that it's a one-time thing. So you take one afternoon or one weekend to do it, and then you're done with it, then you have decluttered, and that doesn't mean that in the future you won't do it again. But it's not a process that goes on for weeks and weeks, but instead you really have this big before and after transformation, which I find very satisfying. One of the downsides of the KonMari method is that because you take one thing at a time, it really takes a lot of time and a lot of effort, especially if you have a lot of stuff, it really takes some time. The second technique that I want to talk about is the packing party method by the minimalists. The packing party method is also a very simple method. You basically just pack everything you own into boxes as if you are moving, and then you label each of these boxes so you know exactly where you find everything, and then for the next few weeks you just take whatever you need from the boxes. So whenever you need a specific item, you take it from the box. And then in the end of it, you get rid of everything that is still in the boxes after 3 weeks or 3 months or whatever period you choose. What's important is that you don't forget about sentimental and seasonal stuff, because you probably won't take that out, but you might still want to keep it, so make sure that you store it separately in the beginning. I'm currently doing a packing party and I find it very helpful. What I like about it is that it really has a big impact and you really can get rid of a lot of stuff. It really helps you to get to know yourself and also to get to know what stuff you actually use. Some of the downsides of the packing party are that you will have boxes everywhere, which can be really annoying. So if you have some extra storage space like a garage or a basement, then that is really helpful, because otherwise you will just have boxes everywhere. And it's also somewhat of a more extreme technique, so it might not be for everyone. Finally, I want to talk about the 30-day minimalism game. This is a method that I have used many times and I find it really helpful. It really doesn't get any more simple than this. On day 1 of the challenge, you get rid of 1 thing, and on day 2 of the challenge, you get rid of 2 things, and so on, until on day 30, you get rid of 30 things. That means when the 30 days are over, you will have decluttered 465 items. This method is especially a lot of fun if you turn it into a competition and you do it together with friends or with family or with roommates. It gets more difficult every day, and in the last days it really is a challenge. What's great about this technique is that it's super easy to do. Really, anyone can do it. And this makes it ideal for people who are just starting and are not yet so sure about this whole minimalism thing. It's a great way to just dip your toe into the water and just give it a try. So if you aren't used to decluttering things and to getting rid of things, then this can be really helpful to get used to it and to build momentum. The downsides are that there's not this big before and after difference. It doesn't have that big of a difference as the other techniques. and it also requires you to do something every day for 30 days, which can also be somewhat annoying to some people. Alright, these were 3 decluttering techniques that you can use. Let me know in the comments down below which one you find the most helpful, and also let me know if there are any other decluttering techniques that you like to use. Don't forget to subscribe if you want to see more videos like this, and I see you if you want in my next video.